Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talk indeed. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that to the black and gold family, man. Wednesday edition is going down, Sports Coma. Much love to the great Saint Tank. Appreciate you guys for being here. And like I've been saying for some time now, welcome, welcome, welcome. You're now rocking with the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys, where we have intense, entertaining, educating, and enlightening sport talk from your favorite sports family. I'm Big Q. I'm in the building. Much love to the great Saint Think Tank. Much love to the Black and Gold Nation. Much love to the fam. Thank y'all for joining me for this Wednesday edition of the Coma, coming at the family members. This one is Saints mock draft number 7. So much love to the fam. Mock 7, as I call it. We're in the building with this, and I appreciate each and every last one of y'all. Please feel free to hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, hit the hell out the like button. Hit it. Appreciate you guys for being in the stream. Much love to the fam. Who that to all the family members. Brother Jerry is in the building. What's up, Mocha? Who that to you, JT? Brother Tori Shepard's in the seniors in the building. What's up, Tori? All right, much love to you, fam. What's up, Will? Will Dickerson, who that to you, fam? Appreciate you. Brother Eric Howard's in the building. Mask Up Podcast is in the building. Young City Nightboard. Be Kind. Ant-Man, BR Fitted 225 is Poppy 504. Gabriel Thomas is in this thing as well. Brother Derek Cropper is in the building as well. Much love. And who that? Brother Lewis is in the building. Who that? What's up, Tim? Who that to you? Says wide receivers are becoming as expensive as quarterbacks. Draft 2 wide receivers on the first. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. You're right. You're right. Oh, yeah. And I think the Saints do have room to take a couple of them. Matter of fact, I'll show you my latest mock. And most of my mocks are consistent. I'll take 2 wide receivers in each of my mocks because I can see the Saints definitely. There is a very good pool of wide receivers in this, a deep pool of wide receivers in this draft. And the Saints should at least get 2 of those guys. One high, one in the middle rounds, perhaps closer to the back, and maybe a 5th rounder. They got a lot of good wide receivers this year. I agree on that. All right, big ups to the rest of the fam. Thank y'all for being in the building as well. Much love. Who else we got to thank as well? Brother Wallace, what's up, fam? Who that to you as well? Appreciate you. What's up, Mike? Mike Larry in the building. Who that, fam? Appreciate you for being in this thing as well, brother. And what's up, Dominic? Who that to you, fam? Appreciate you. What's up, Linda? All right, she says, Bird. I did it. Oh, man. That used to mean you get good luck. Man, boy, I tell you, man, it gets funnier and funnier with these politicians. All right, KB, what's up, Queen? Who that to you? Appreciate all the family members. Much love to the kings and queens of the Coma. Big ups to everybody. Thank y'all for joining for this edition of the stream. So I won't hold y'all very long on this Wednesday edition. In a little bit, of course, the Pelicans will start their postseason action up against the San Antonio Spurs. So I'll be monitoring that. And then, of course, following that, we'll have the Pelican postgame report breaking that down as well. So we'll take a few questions and comments on the back end after I get through this mock. Mike says, I think these QBs are better than what media says these guys are wrong about players 90% of the time anyway. Yeah, that was a funny comment about scouts being like weathermen or weather people, that, most of the times they're wrong on that, but they never get fired. Scout job is safe as the weatherman, the weather person job. They can sit up there and talk about you got a 30% chance of rain, and then you go out there and then it's raining. Well, we did say it was 30%. So I mean, you're absolutely right. They're not accurate most of the time. Yeah, big ups. All right, Dewan, I see you, fam. Who that to you? Appreciate you, brother Tramal. I see you, fam. Appreciate you. All right, what's happening, Slim? Who that to you? And the rest of the fam, hit the like button, family, as you're coming into the live stream. Please feel free to hit the like button. What's up, GM Kev? My dog GM Kev is in the building as well. So if you hear your name, give me a who that, and I got you, baby. So yeah, this edition we'll kind of go into it, but yes, there is rumors out that the Saints moved up to get and acquired an extra first round pick with the possibility of looking at a quarterback. And I've said this, Saints do like a couple of these quarterbacks to see who's available. They like Ritter from Cincinnati, in no particular order, by the way. I'm about to label these things. Ritter from Cincinnati. Also, you know, they like guys. They do like Willis from Liberty. They really like Pickett from Pitt. So, you know, they like a couple of these guys. Corral had a good showing on them as well. So the Saints are high on some of these quarterbacks, and the move is in anticipation of the Saints taking one of the quarterbacks that they value with one of the first round draft picks. A lot of people say, well, Q, that's crazy. Why don't you just address the needs that they should address and then move on with it? Well, I get your logic on that. But it's a lot of things that need to be added into the thought process of going into this draft. First and foremost, this is the first draft in a long time that we didn't have Sean Payton orchestrating it. That's number one. And you know, he has a propensity to reach to offensive players, whether you got a defensive coach who will more than likely, hopefully he won't reach to the defensive side of the ball, because the Saints don't really, I ain't gonna say they don't need any more talent, but the offense is, you hadn't done too much to address a lot of the needs offensively speaking. You just re-signed some guys, the guys we had last year, and then you expect some of these guys to ratchet up their level of production from the previous year, and this is something that you add into the equation. But on the flip side, you haven't really done what you've done equated to the moves that you made defensively. They brought in several new brought in some defensive Kentavious Street to help the defense. They've loaded up on the defensive line. If you know, they loaded up on the safety position, and still rumored to look at to Mathau eventually, between now and the draft, perhaps. But you know, the reality is, you got to remember, it's Dennis Allen's first draft. The Saints do need a lot of help on the offensive side of the ball. The defense for many games last year carried the Saints. It's caveats all kind of which ways. It's flux on the offensive line. They have to figure out who's going to play where. You know, they have to figure that out. Who, you know, you're going to have to get a running back in the draft because of Alvin Kamara, because some of the better backs, and they do have some guys in free agency, but one that could have took the pressure off the Saints using the pick to pick up a guy and put pressure on the young guy to come in and have an impact was a Marlon Mack type. They let the Texans get him. You know, so there were some things that you could look at and say, well, if the Saints would have signed Will Fuller, let's just throw his name out there, they could still take a wide receiver, but that would have added to the offense, giving them a bona fide deep threat weapon. This guy he's super fast. He does catch the ball. He has some injury issues prior to it, but he's healthy. He would come cheap. So, I mean, this could have helped, but the Saints really didn't do anything, especially in the terms of and then the new talent offensively speaking. So there's things that we got to watch out. The Alvin Kamara situation is supposed to happen on April the 25th. We're looking out for that. The draft later on after that. So it's several different things that we have to factor in our thinking when we're thinking about Dennis Allen. The fact that Jameis Winston is only on a 2-year deal. Not a 3, not a 4-year deal, but a 2-year deal is Jameis Winston on. Now, is that a deal that you would give a 28-year-old quarterback who's been here for 2 years, who you see as the guy? You know, and remember, he's like, well, what is the change in? You don't have Sean Payton there no more. And really, if you think about it, the Saints wanted who they wanted. They went all out for that guy. And I'm not going to mention his goddamn name. You know, it's no need to, because you know what I'm talking about. So they had that guy that they wanted to go with, but they didn't get that guy, and they had to settle for Jameis, which is different than coming out the gates and signing Jameis and getting it done. No, they went after that guy, and they made Jameis wait while they pursued that guy. And then when that guy happened, Jameis had words with them about that. And he even made mention of it in the interview we played where he you trying to hit him in the ass with that with the price. You know what I'm saying? Like, listen, you gonna come up off the this, that, and the third. So the Saints just milked out a 2-year deal with Jameis, which kind of screams bridge to me in terms of what they're looking for. So the Saints do like these quarterbacks. Several of them in the draft. They've scouted them heavily, and they're so clumped together in terms of there's not a key or a leader of the pack, so to speak. Early on, it was Pickett. Then other quarterbacks had pro days and good performances at the scouting combine that helped raise them up and clump them together. So it is not a clear-cut favorite or a leader of the pack, so to speak, when you talk about these quarterbacks. So we got to factor that into thinking. This is the first time in a long time we're going into the draft, and Coach Payton is not on this club. He's not operating the draft. We got Dennis Allen there. And, of course, like I said, if you paid throughout this whole offseason, the Saints paid attention to the defense. Offense, not so much. Not so much to the offense. They re-signed a bunch of people, but didn't bring anybody new to infuse talent, offensively speaking, to elevate the offensive room, to help them anyway. So the big caveat is wide receiver, which is why the Saints are focused more toward the draft and appeasing a lot of those moves through the draft as opposed to using free agency. Economically speaking, it works because you getting some good talent there for cheaper than what you would pay on the open market, depending on who you would go after. But Saints asked about Cooks, they asked about this person, that person, didn't find who they like. So, the draft is the next thing. Anyway, that's some of my spiel about it. DC was like, no, Q, man, listen, you don't need to do that. And I said, DC, I'm with you on that, bro, but you got to remember what we talking about. We talking about Dennis Allen running this thing now. Dennis Allen, number one, going to want to get his own quarterback because, like I said, Jameis is only 2 years. Dennis Allen's going to want his own quarterback to operate under his system, and it's just what it's going to be. He wants his own quarterback, and a word on the street is that they like a couple of these guys. And word on the street also, it could be a smoke signal. So get me wrong, it could be a smoke signal that the Saints are sending saying, okay, they're going to get a quarterback when they reach for something else. But it could be that as well. But, we'll see, man. We'll see. We don't got that long to wait either, do we? All right, so big ups to the rest of the fam. Ghost187, what's up, fam? Appreciate you being here. Brian says, do you think the Saints would package 16 and 19 picks to go after Malik Willis or Jameson Williams? I don't think so, Brother Brian. Thank you for your question. I don't think they do. I think the Saints, then Mickey said that. Mickey said then led into that thing that they're going to stand pat and be patient. I don't think the Saints need to jeopardize trading both first-round draft picks to go out for a quarterback that's going to just sit for 2 years. I don't think that's going to happen. The Saints do feel like, and it's not just Malik. He's one of the guys they like, according to what being said. Malik Willis, Pickett, Ritter from Cincinnati, who is projected as he's a second-round quarterback. Some say a late first-rounder. So one of these guys the Saints like, and it's like 4 of them that they like a lot, will be one of those guys will be available when they pick. Do they pull the trigger on him? That's the thing. Now, of course, if Malik Willis is there, and you say, well, Q, do you take Malik Willis if Jordan Davis is not there or blah, blah, blah? Yes, I think so. Jameson Williams should be there because the injury, if Jameson Williams didn't get hurt in that bowl game, family, Jameson Williams would be the number 1 wide receiver in this draft. He would be. Running away with it. He would be the number 1 wide receiver in this draft. The fact that a lot of people think because of the injury that allows him to slide to the middle rounds because people are anticipating him not to be available for training camp and possibly into the center portion of the regular season. So if you're taking him there, the chances are you might not get him, depending on which reports you're looking at, because some have him slotted to miss training camp in preseason but return a week or so into the regular season. Some saying half the regular season. So it depends on what injury or medical report you're reading that's forecasting the time frame when he is healthy enough to contribute. So that's why he's sliding, and they're anticipating him sliding there. But now if Jameson Williams isn't there, it's not a lost thing. And I'll cover it in this draft, in this mock draft, that there are other wide receivers that a lot of people are not talking about. And there's always players that all of a sudden that rise above that nobody's seen coming. That's in these drafts, these diamond in the rough type players. And I was talking about it, and I had some, and I was looking at the guy, and I had a chance yesterday and today to do some more extensive research and scouting into this particular player. And I'm thinking that this guy here is a tremendous talent. And the fact that he's being woefully overlooked, that somebody gonna get him, because they're not talking about him much right now. They're talking about all these other guys. But I'm telling you, that guy is nothing being mentioned about this guy. And I promise you, somewhere along the line, he's gonna be a first-round draft pick wide receiver. He's got to be, if the Saints are wide receiver starved, he's got to be one of the guys that they're looking at. If Chris Olave is not there, and of course, a lot of people like Olave because of the ties to him and Mike Thomas and that Ohio State thing. Do the Saints cut from that thinking and go somewhere else to a talented wide receiver that's not as big, but still as talented, more crisp, more fundamental, more ready to contribute right away, and actually fits the team in terms of his speed dynamic and what he represents? This player that I'm speaking of is a dynamo. But anyway, we'll cover it in the mock draft as well. All right, so big ups. Thanks for the question there, fam. Appreciate you, Brother Brian. Mike says Jameis was Sean's idea. He's not Allen's guy. And this is true, Mike. Thank you for sharing that. And people, like, well, I keep telling people, listen, fam, this is not the same brain trust. Even though Mickey's there, Mickey works for the coach, meaning I know he's like, well, the pecking order says Mickey's in charge. I get that. But I'm saying if the coach says, listen, Mickey's going to look at the guy and say, listen, man, what do you need to win? We want to win right now. What are we trying to do? We trying to win. We trying to get back in the playoffs. We had a winning record last year, but we didn't make the playoffs. What we need to get in the playoffs? Well, what I see is we're going to need this, that, and the third, and then Mickey gets to working. Well, how aggressive you want to do this thing? Let's do this, that, and the third. Let's swing for the fences. So the Saints showed several times this offseason swing for the fences movements that show that they're serious about competing and want to come back and dominate the NFC South and take that crown over. Now, the Saints do have a high level and top-notch defense, no doubt about it. Special teams on fleek. Offense is teetering. Offense is running third to those other units. And the Saints have to raise up that level of playing. I expect them to go into, like, after the draft is over with and bring some veterans in and veteran wide receivers to come in and compete for a job. They do that every year. You know, I would like to see a Keelan Cole or Dede Westbrook to come in and handle the business as opposed to this Kevin White character, man. He's sucking up money. Why are you here? But anyway, much love to the fam. Appreciate you. What's up, Brandon? Who that to you as well? Joe Wiley. What's up, Joe? Big ups to you and the rest of the fam in this one. What's up, Mike Seabrook as well? All right, big ups to you. Appreciate you, bro. Much love to you as well. All right, but much love to everybody out there. What's up, Jamaica? Who that to you as well? Appreciate you. Welcome to the stream. All right, big ups to Tim. Well, he said we looking safety. I don't know about the say. I keep hearing safety because of Dennis Allen's fascination with safeties. So I mean, but the truth of the matter is, if you look at the safety position, right? The safety position, they picked up this kid from Tampa Bay. Guy had been knocked out of there for 2 years, right? Hadn't been healthy. All right. Then you look at the other guys. They signed PJ Williams, 1 year deal. All of these guys, even KC Sorensen, is a 1 year deal. So it's similar to like the Saints filling in the interior defensive line position with a Jordan Davis move. Like, say, Q, if Jordan Davis is there, do you take him? Yes, and yes, and yes, Kev. Yes, you take Jordan Davis if he's there. You get me? Yes. He's the most impactful interior defensive player that you have on the line. Yes, because David Onyemata's on a 1 year deal, Shai Tuttle on the 1 year chicken tender, and then of course you got Passanio on the 1 year deal. So you got to look at that when you forecasting into the draft. And if they do take a safety, that can only help, right? Because you get a safety of the future as well. The only other guy on a long-term extension in terms of the safeties is Marcus May, right? 3 year deal, and May's coming off an injury. So is he a guy that you will look at and say, man, we comfortable with him? I don't know. These are questions that you ask yourself. But once again, about the Dennis Allen thing. Dennis Allen is the coach of the team. Dennis Allen is not Sean Payton. Dennis Allen has his own mind frame on who he wants to be in there at the quarterback position after Jameis. And you're absolutely right. that Sean Payton, that's Jameis's guy. And obviously, to a degree, hey, remember, how about this? Did anybody put one in the chat if y'all heard the interview with Cam Jordan? He went on Get Up, Get Out, whatever it's called on ESPN. He went up there, right? He went up there, and then he was pretty much did the whole little media tour when he was there, went to all these little shows and was talking about Saints football. All right, so you remember how Cam was talking about, man, Jameis is just dialed in. And Jameis, man, he the quarterback. Jameis is the man. You know, he's the top. You know, all of this, I'm voting for Jameis stuff. Like, you give him a sign, he go stand on the corner and say Jameis for president. But like a couple of months ago, it was like Deshaun, I'm trying to win something, man. I'm trying to win. So when I'm saying that, I'm saying that because the overwhelming, like, this is like, Cam is not just some scrub somewhere, you know what I'm saying? Cam is one of your top defensive players. And we can even say to a degree in the actions of a Teron Armstead, who at the time did not sign to go with anybody, was waiting and watching to see what the Saints was going to do with Deshaun Watson. Y'all remember that? And then after the domino that was Watson failed, then you see him a couple days later sign that deal with Miami. He could have been signed that deal with Miami. We all knew that's where he was going. We did shows talking about Miami and Jacksonville were going to be his destinations because he knew that's where the money was going to go. But what I'm hitting at is the mind frame of the thought process on who Jameis Winston is in the building. Now, if Teron was waiting for Mr. Watson to sign with the team, then why wasn't he waiting for Mr. Winston to sign with the team? Huh? These are not scrubs now. These are two of your most respected players on the team, one offense, one defensive. And by the way, Armstead was Jameis's blindside blocker. So kind of really meticulous moves that I was seeing in thought processes when Cam was advocating for new quarterbacks while Jameis was still trying to rehab and get back to the job. All I know is Cam Jordan better buy the man a dinner or some breakfast and something. I'm sorry for trying to give your job away. Only thing I'm saying is, man, 2-year deal. It's a thought process in some kind of way that's thrown out that Jameis can't take the sand. They're not saying it, but the actions are really puzzling for players. You get what I'm saying? You didn't get none of them other people you was advocating for. All of them went somewhere else. And now Jameis comes back here. You got to eat all them words. But why, it's all very strange actions about it. But inside the building, they had no other options but Jameis Winston. Had they had any other valid options, them people would have went with it. I promise you that. Now, we love Jameis, but I'm saying at the end of the day, the way the Saints sat there in line like they was starving and waiting for some free food is just, they was real thirsty after the man. You know what I'm saying? They was thirsty as hell. Just saying, because I was like, man, I got upset. Man, what you doing, man? Cut bait and run. This guy playing you. He playing games. I kept saying, remember I did that show and I was like, man, listen, this dude playing games, man. You serious about him, but he went and got another team involved and tried to do some sneaky shit. And I was like, man, cut this freaking dude off. But the positive about the situation was that they got all that money, right, where they went maxed out to free up as much money as they can in anticipation of that move. But they had to pay Jameis. But anyway, I say all that to say this, that Jameis is not the future of the Saints outside of 2 years. Now, it could change when Jameis takes the team to a Super Bowl, wins a Super Bowl. That forces the hands to change, similar to what a guy like Aaron Rodgers is doing. Now, I'm not saying Jameis is Aaron Rodgers, but I'm saying with a lot of success in taking deep playoff runs, that can change the mentality of the player or the people in the building. Because Sean Payton loves him, but Dennis Allen them ain't too crazy about Jameis Winston. They'll say they quarterback now. They'll say the politically correct crap. But at the end of the day, the motion show didn't show it to me. You see what I'm saying? It's like, you as a business. I get you on that. I'm not mad at you, but you're going to break me off. You're going to pay me. And they did. So at the end of the day, the reality is the extra pick for a quarterback is valid because if you think about Dennis Allen, his behaviors and the movements, what happened with Watson and then making Winston wait. Then when it finally happened, you only get 2 years on the deal, right? And then outside of that, you're like, okay, what else is you? It's just man, it's just weird, man. It's very weird Because, I mean, could you imagine them treating Drew Brees this way? Huh? Imagine this. Would Drew Brees have been treated the way Jameis Winston is? Think about that. Now, you heard Mike toward the back end of Drew say stuff like, about him not being able to throw the ball downfield, stuff like that. But that type of action that I seen Teron Armstead, with him saying, I'll wait and maybe sign back with the Saints on a deal if they sign Deshaun Watson. Then when they realized he's not and they went back to Jameis, he goes to Miami. Then Jameis' first interview was that, man, I wish me and Teron Armstead could have signed a deal at the same time and been here at the same time. Jameis, save your words, bro. Jameis, save your words, bro. Save your words, Jameis. You obviously... you totally missed what was going on, Jameis. You must have, yeah, brother, you was working out in rehab and you totally you missed the bus on this one. But let me get you straight, Jameis. That man didn't want to be down here, bro. Being your blindside blocker. He said he'll give Watson a deal, but when Watson ended up going, he went to Miami a couple of days later. So I mean, save it, Jameis. Save it, bro. But 2 years, like I said, he's gonna have to prove himself all over again to this new regime, or not new regime, but Dennis Allen, who's the guy. But I'm telling you, at the end of the day, Allen is looking for his own quarterback. And one of the guys in the draft, whether it's Willis, whether it's Pickett, whether it's Ritter, whether it's any of these guys, the Saints have eyes and have been doing a lot of research into these quarterbacks. So that's the talking point in terms of the quarterback talk. A lot of people don't like it because you can meet a lot of needs if you do it the right way, right? So why would we need to draft a quarterback, Q, who more than likely won't play for 2 years? Well, I mean, they see it as development. It's an old way of thinking that I get a quarterback in here, let him sit behind one guy and then learn the system as it goes. But Jameis is coming off an injury. They do have Andy Dalton there. So the Saints are looking perhaps into the future of who can be the next signal caller beyond the 2-year span. So, I mean, we'll see how it all shakes and folds, man. But at the end of the day, very weird motions by the Saints this year. To be honest with you, I couldn't see them treating Drew Brees like that. Hell, they gave Drew Brees a blank check. The only reason why Jameis got this much money is because they had no fallback option. They threw it all to the center of the table for your boy, and your boy was playing games the whole time on them. It is what it is. All right, so much love to the fam. T. Scott, what's up, baby? Says Allen track record in Oakland. He always drafted defense first round. We'll see. Yeah, but listen, defense first round, you could say, okay, what would be the only draft pick in the first round, you got 2 first round picks that would be acceptable, would be Jordan Davis, right? The big Jordan, right? It would be him, the big, massive defensive tackle out of the University of Georgia. It would be him. I mean, because you think about it, you do have a need for a guy there because he would push Shy Tuttle out the way. I mean, so you would have that guy there for the next 4 or 5 years occupying the interior defensive line. That's justified. And you putting work on the lines. When you're building up the offensive line, you're doing a lot of great things. You really are. And then also, into my mentality, watching the Saints offensive line this past season, I question the mental toughness of the Saints. Where's the attitude, the ferocity, the anger, the pissed offness that most really good offensive lines play with? Where was that in several contests with the Saints last year when that mentality wasn't there? When they were getting pushed, where was the mentality to get aggressive and dominate like we've seen in years past? That was fleeting. In several games last year, you've seen the mentality of the offensive line went away. So what needs to be done here is that if you're going to take offensive linemen there, which makes sense, then you're going to need a tough son of a bitch with an angry streak that's about mauling people out the way. You need that. Ryan Ramczyk has that. He was playing like that with a little streak, a little toughness, a little anger. He had that upsetness. We need guys like that. And there's still a lot of answers about the offensive line. Cesar Ruiz and, McCoy and, because McCoy was pancaked a lot last year. I mean, watching him get pushed down, I think he was hurt. He didn't show up on the injury report like talking about that, but I think McCoy was suffering from injury, man. He just didn't look like himself last year. And if Teron was in and out of lineups too, and the Saints had 52 to 55 different offensive line changes last year due to C-19 and injuries, which was the most in the NFL. It was totally ridiculous, But anyway, that's what we're looking at, the mindset. So it's more offensive. This draft, you should see more offensive players taken because the Saints hadn't really done anything in terms of just re-sign guys back to the team. Traquan Smith, does he move the needle for you? Huh? You happy about that Traquan Smith signing? Is that, oh, we got Traquan Smith back. Did that move the needle for you? Well, Saints, let's throw him a bone right here to Who That Nation a bone. Let's bring Traquan Smith. Yeah, Traquan Smith going to do a lot better. Is he going to occupy the starting position opposite of Mike Thomas and become who we was waiting for the last 4 years to be? Does he move the needle for you? Of course he doesn't, because he doesn't do anything to give to you to show you that I'm going to be better than what I was. And more than likely, he probably will be a little bit better, but not to the point where the Who That Nation's like, oh, we got Traquan Smith back. Boy, we going to the Super Bowl. No, it don't work like that. Don't work like that, does it? Nah, not at all. All right, so anyway, much love to the fam. I appreciate T Dirty. What's up, fam? Much love to all y'all. Appreciate y'all being here. Uncle Paul is in the building. What's up, fam? Brother Dada, the Great Saint Think Tank family members. Brother Tragic's in the building. He says, after further analysis, Dotson reminds me of Kevin Johnson, former wide receiver for the Browns out of Syracuse. Why? Wow. Yeah, I remember him, Kev. Logan says Armstead been needing to go anyway. He couldn't stay out. I know. And people forget that. Like when they sign these guys, like, man, Teron Armstead missed many games and he was really good when he played. But the thing is availability. I mean, we knew Teron was gone 2 years ago. And the plan was, and we laid it out. We kept talking about it for 2 years. We said the Saints going to let Armstead walk because they ain't going to be able to afford to pay him unless he take a cheap deal to stay. Ramczyk going to get paid. Ramczyk's going to move to blindside tackle. End of discussion. The Saints will have to fill in and build up the offensive line all over again. And Dennis Allen wants a run-hungry power line that pushes guys and plots guys out of the way. Well, Cesar Ruiz is not very good at the guard position. McCoy is healthy. He's going to show you some sports. Andrus I like Andrus, but he can't stay healthy. So where does that fits? And what position does Andrus play? Does he start at guard or does he sway out to tackle? What if is Landon Young in there? How about Hurst? Hurst is more of a backup swing tackle or a backup offensive lineman that in 2 or 3 games after due to injuries that you move him into spots to play, but he's not a guy that you will want to start for a summation of the full season. Now, that's not what it is, because he's not good at dealing with pass rushers, and you need somebody that can move. And I like Hurst, but Hurst will put your quarterback into Hurst if you allow him to sit back there and be your starting offensive lineman. His name is his game, and his name will be your quarterback if you start that guy and make him the blindside offensive line. Like I see a bunch of these dumbasses writing these articles, putting Hurst as the blindside offensive lineman. You might as well put the quarterback in the Hurst if you start Hurst at your stars in a blindside line. You better think about it. All right, so yeah. But anyway, much love to the fam, man. Appreciate all y'all in here, man, as well. What's up, Godfidence? What's up, Carla, baby? Much love to the queens and kings of the show. Much love. Appreciate y'all being here. But anyway, fam, I'm not going to hold y'all very long. Let me get into the mock, because I did a mock number 7, or I call a mock 7 draft. And I kind of switched it up a bit. And like I said, I've been doing these mocks, and I'm kind of changing up, coming from different thought processes. But regardless of how many different thought processes I approach, it's always the same in my mind, is that we need more offensive talent than anything. The Saints have gotten loaded up on defensive linemen. If you go and look at the depth chart, you see all these guys that they re-signed, specialty secondary members. They, you know what I'm saying? They're loaded up on talent. And the question also is, like with the Chauncey Gardner things, like, okay, Q, is it time for Chauncey to play safety? You know, maybe that could mean that, you know, with Saints offered Tyrann Mathieu an opportunity to come in as a starting safety next to Mays. But what if it's a Chauncey Gardner-Johnson opportunity to finally start at the safety position? Because Jenkins is gone. Possibility. Can't rule out much. But what's intriguing about it is what makes you rethink that thing is the restructuring of Roby's contract. You know, where does he? You know, you think he's going to play? Yeah. So this could be something where you could see a progression of Chauncey Gardner-Johnson moving to the safety position. Granted, if Tyrann Mathieu's not there, so there's some factors that we're going to have to see move around in this thing. to see where everything fits out, because we need to see. There's some guys gone. We need to see. But I'm really intrigued to see what the Saints offensive line looks like. If some of these guys going to move to new positions, and they got to, at least 3 players should move if that's the course of action. But anyway, no, they didn't sign Quan Alexander yet, Brother Wallace. He's still out there, and more than likely, you probably won't see him get signed until right before training camp, if that's the thing. Not much of a market or hitting for him right now, but usually you'll see a Quan Alexander. Remember, this was something similar that happened last year when he was out there and he did really well. And, you know, the question is, what does Quan Alexander want? I mean, he's given the Saints 2 one-year deals. Do the Saints reward him with a multi-year deal? Do they say, okay, Quan, you did really well for us. Here's a 2-year deal at whatever. You see what I'm saying? Do the Saints finally reward Quan Alexander with a multi-year deal, a 2-year contract, at least after him giving the Saints 2 one-year deals to get here? You see what I'm saying? At some point, you got to think about that thing and see where they go. But yeah, if Saints sign him, I'm looking opposed to him probably being something they sign right before training camp. You see what I'm saying? Before all that things get going, they bring him in right around that time reference. So, you know, it's similar to what happened last year, you know. We'll see. All right. Anyway, much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all. T. Scott says, what's Jarvis Landry's asking price? He wants $20 million a year. Even fired his damn agent. Now, remember, granted, he was making $14, $15 million with the Browns. They didn't want to pay him that. Got rid of him. He had 55 catches, I won't say last year. He's a hell of a wide receiver. Not very fast, but catches everything you throw to him, runs really some of the best routes you ever seen. But he's not worth $20 million a year. The man wants $20 million a year, bro. I mean, you put that, yeah. He wants $20 million a year. You tell me if you're going to pay Jarvis Landry $20 million a year. That's what his asking price is. It's absolutely stunning that, you know, I know, wow. I would laugh at that shit. I would laugh in his face. Are you crazy? Man, do you not understand how late in the game? You talking about $20 million, dude. $20 million. Now, it's good to see a lot of value in yourself, but there's reality has to fixate here. Sooner or later, reality got to hit your ass. You're not going to get no $20 million. They ain't want to pay you the $14, $15 million you was getting with the Cleveland Browns. And they're one of the dumbest teams in the league that'll try to pay somebody some 20. But nah, you're not going to get 20, Playboy. I mean, you can see a DK Metcalf getting 20 or trying to approach 20 million. Yeah, DK Metcalf gets that, not Jarvis Landry, fam. No, sorry. DK Metcalf, when he finally reached free agency, DK Metcalf will push for 20 million. That'll be on the cheap side. They talking 24 million for DK Metcalf. And you thinking them teams ain't gonna come off that money for DK Metcalf? You damn right they will. But anyway, fam, let me hit the like button. Much love to the fam. Appreciate all y'all being here, brother John Thompson. I see you. Kim at God, Mont Dog. What's happening, fam? Much love to the fam. Slade Smith and all of the fam. Hit the like button. If you're not subscribed, please feel free to hit the subscribe button and join the show, baby. But let me get to Mach 7, fam, and then we'll bounce out this thing. Hold on here, fam. Let me see if I can float this here. All right, there we go. Hold on here. Is it still? Anyway. Let me see if it's still up. Uh-oh. It done jumped up. But anyway, my mock is this, fam. My mock is this. We got the Jahan Dotson. He'll be the first pick there for the black and gold. Now, out of the 2 picks that we talked about, Jahan Dotson is the guy that I really like. And we picked him up right at the 16th pick. Now, what's intriguing about Jahan Dotson? We talked about him in the TSC Q&A live broadcast. We mentioned that. And Dotson is special. He's 4.43 speed. He's the best under 6 feet tall wide receiver there. But if the guy was 6'1" or 6 feet tall, this guy will be one of the top wide receivers out there. He runs really good routes. He catches everything you throw to him. He's extremely elusive. And it's just, if you watch the film of Jahan Dotson plays, he's a special player. And we talk about Jalen Waddle from Miami, and a lot of people are like, man, remember what Waddle did to the Saints defense last year with a good wide receiver? They moved him all around the field, and he's basically all they had. But they worked the hell out of him. But let me tell you something. See, my dog says, nah, I'm good on Dotson. See, it's all this stuff about people talking about Chris Olave, But I'm telling you guys, you need to go look up Dotson, man. People don't know nothing about the kid. I'm telling you, the kid is very special. But I took him in with the draft in the first round. He's going to be going in the first round. It stretches the defense, extremely fast. It can be used in a multitude of different applications. Was extremely productive at Penn State. He's coming there. They say they consider him like an Emmanuel Sanders type. But, I mean, he's just phenomenal. Finesse wide out with good speed, great athleticism, who's fully operational on all three levels of the field. Dotson's passing scheme well designed and allow for clear access to space for most of the season. He's good. He's good in that space. He's very elusive. You can't pinpoint him down. He definitely upgrades you. His route running is smooth. His features, speed changes, and his air athleticism and ball skills look effortless. Jumping up, jumping high jumping, pinpointing the ball. 5'11". Dude do a fantastic job locating where the ball is. And he gets around those cornerbacks and just takes off. Accelerate, runs right past them effortlessly. Catches everything you throw to him. And people are not talking about Dotson like that because Dotson is a guy that's under 6 feet tall. And that his height is they mark his height as a minus, but that's a shame because he's just as productive as the rest of these guys that's on this list. I mean, he's just as productive or more productive if you go and check his statistics and the way he plays the game. So I'm just sprinkling some game on you guys if you don't know who it is because they talk about all these other guys, but Dotson is a guy I just want to sprinkle on you. All right, brother KT, what's up, bro? He says, draft gems I see this year. John Michie III, yep. Bo Melton, Justin Ross. DC was telling me about Justin Ross. Dotson, P.S. Strong Jr., Christian Watson, I'm familiar with him, and Jake Ferguson. All right, thank you, KT. That's our resident TSC Great Think Tank scout. All right, and his confidence and competitiveness is just average against physical coverage. He's likely to see more press looks as a pro. Yeah, good luck doing that. Dotson, an inside-outside starting talent, but a lack of physicality could prevent him from taking over games the same rate. Now, that's absolute BS to me because in the film that I watched in some of the big games that Dotson played in, he took over the freaking games, man. He took the games over. He took over and was dominating those guys. And they talking about jamming them. Good luck with that. I mean, he's so shifty, gets around you. And, of course, he's a smaller guy. He has to get stronger. But if you're looking for a weapon that can stretch out defenses, that can catch the ball, and that can be impactful right away, I'm telling you, put the tape on and study Dotson. All right, that's the pick. I got the Saints a wide receiver. The second first-round draft pick was Bernhard Raymond from Central Florida, big offensive lineman. This guy here was a former tight end, fam. Former tight end that made the leap to the offensive tackle position. Rated as some drafts have Raymond as the second best, third best tackle in the game. Some say third, some say fourth, some say two, some have him at one. But at the end of the day, I don't think he's the best, but I would say probably he's like the second or maybe third somewhere along in that, depending on where you're coming from. Well, the right says Christian Watson is better QB because of size. You're looking at size, brother. The right. Christian Watson is what is he? 6'3", 6'4"? He got good speed as well. But like I said, it's these guys, they looking at the size too. But the production, what about can he play the game? Like it's the same thing. Okay, look at the smaller wide receivers. Not every wide receiver running around in the pros that have an impact as a 6'3", 6'4" guy. I mean, they got guys out there like Cooks and what about Tyreek Hill? I mean, they got guys, just guys that nobody respects, and then he just all of a sudden they just blow away, and people are like, where did that guy come from? Where did he come? No, he's always been there. We just haven't been paying attention to him because we want guys at 6 feet tall, and then these less than 6 feet tall wide receivers come in there and handle the business. So, I like Christian Watson. He is good. I'll give you that. But like I was saying, I think Dotson is a guy you need to look at too. Anyway, let's finish on Bernhard Raymond out of the University of Central Michigan, the Chippewas. Now, he's a big guy with good feet, fast. And then, of course, he has the ability where you can leak him out in the offensive line packages and catch touchdowns for you if you need him to do that thing like that. But like I said, he's strong. He's big, got a mean streak with him. And he could also be a guy that can help you out. Yeah, Antonio Brown was 5'11". And, Godwin says Tyreek's the best in the league. He's a less than 6 feet tall wide receiver. So I'm trying to get people to see that from the wide receiver, because we conditioned to believe that the guy got to be 6 feet tall. And you got wide receivers you letting go that's 5'11", 5'10". That's absolutely game changers. What about Steve Smith? Steve Smith less than 6 feet tall. And most of these other guys. So I mean, you got fantastic wide receivers. Just don't overlook guys that's less than 6 feet tall because they got a guy that's 6'4" or 6'5" running out there. You gotta do your due diligence and look at the statistics and what they did, where they came from in the situation. And I'm telling you that he's very comparative. In certain circumstances, he's better than some of these other guys that people are labeling out front of him. But enough of him. That's Bernhard Raymond, another offensive line. So what I'm basically do, I take my 2 first-round draft picks the Saints had, and I took Bernhard and I took a Jahan, and I made them my first-round draft picks. Wide receiver, which is one of the Saints, arguably one of the biggest wide receivers the Saints in terms of needs that they had in offensive tackle position, the right tackle position. I don't know if the Saints feel like they have the guy there. We talked about it on TSC Q&A Live that perhaps it's Andrews Pete, perhaps it's somebody else they might see that's on the team actually, because they have several linemen that can do different things. Do the Saints see it as a right tackle replacement? Because I really do think that Ramczyk will be a blindside tackle. Who's the right tackle? And there's flux there. But Bernhard will come in. He occupied the position. Big. He got good feet. He's strong. He's smart. And the guy will do a good job at the offensive line for you. In the second round, I got a quarterback. Why? Because you want to have a quarterback to groom. I can see it. I can see this Saints and a piece. And now Carson Strong, 6'4", big quarterback. Some have him listed at 6'5", 230 pounds. The thing about Carson Strong is his name is his game. Gun for an arm, has good accuracy, stands in there and delivers the ball. He played for Nevada, the Wolfpack, that air raid attack. He occupied there, had a lot of statistics piled up in the Mountain West. Carson Strong is a good player, man. Now the knock against Carson Strong is the fact that he had an issue, a lower extremity injury. I think it's his right knee had an issue, but he's healthy now. He had that knee issue during the season. And, that was something that kind of dropped Carson Strong's stock, because a lot of people had him early on really up there with the rest of them grouped together. But the knee issue that he had kind of dropped him a bit. But the thing is, if you take a guy in the second round, you can kind of develop this guy. And, of course, people say, what about Ian Book? Remember, Ian Book wasn't picked by Dennis Allen. So he you know what I'm saying? So you can use Carson Strong to compete with an Ian Book. So, but I like the kid. He's strong. He's big. He sees the field well. He has good accuracy. He has a gun for an arm, can deliver the long ball and the short and intermediate stuff. You don't have to start him right away. You can kind of let him work himself into the position, and you don't need him to do nothing right now. You got Jameis and Andy Dalton, so he can sit for a year and get totally healthy before he comes back out and work in the Sean Payton offense. So it gives you a quarterback in the future that you don't have to start right away, and you do get 2 of the biggest needs that you use. You get your offensive lineman and you get a wide receiver. What's next? Mr. Dameon Pierce. Now I picked Dameon Pierce before, and this is in the 3rd round of the mock with Pierce out of the University of Florida. This dude, when you talk about power running scheme and anger and stiff arm, this guy runs like, he's running against a team like they took his mama milk money or something. So, this would be this guy here, Dameon Pierce. You put the tape on him. He's not extremely fast according to the 40-yard dash. As you can see, it's a full 4.59 and it's 40. But if you put the tape on, it looks he operates and run faster than what you see. Like if it's just straight up doing a dash, his speed is faster on film on field than what you would see him running in a dash. You get what I'm saying? He's faster. Not only that, but he's powerful. It takes a lot to bring him down. He was extremely productive at University of Florida. He's a guy that can come in and you can give him the workload. You can catch the ball out the backfield. It takes multiple carriers, people to bring him down. He's tough as nails, and he would be a good addition to the Saints running attack. And Rook says Brian Robinson. Yeah, Brian Robinson is not bad. The Saints get him. I'm not mad at the Brian Robinson Jr. pick. He's a lot bigger. Kind of fits the King Henry mold better. But, this is Pierce is a guy that I like. I personally watched him play at the University of Florida because I'm an SEC man, and I like what he did there. So I think he would be a help to the Yeah. Carla says game speed is different. Yeah, it is, Carla, and you're right, Queen, because you put his game speed, he looks a lot. It's a lot different than him just running in some dash. He's cutting and using the stiff arm and everything. Powerful running back. Remember, that was Dennis Allen Stalwart when he was talking about what kind of running attack he wanted. Power running. That's Dameon Pierce. All right, and of course, the next pick here will be the guy that needs a haircut, Jalen Weidermeyer, who the Saints did scout this guy. They did meet with this guy. A lot of good talent this brother has right here. And, of course, the Saints, we're looking at the Saints tight end room. They can use some help there. They didn't get the veteran tight end that we preferred them to get. And, of course, they could do that after the draft. But I think Jalen or Weidermeyer is a guy that can help out. He's 6'5", 255, has soft hands, can block. He needs a bit of work there. That's why I picked him where I picked him up at. But I think he would really help out the Saints tight end room coming there and do some stuff. He blocks really well. He has soft hands. He can work a little bit better on his routes, and he's subject to drop a ball every now and again. But he's a project that I can see that the Saints need, because if you look at the Saints tight end room, Taysom Hill is there. You got Adam Troutman there. You got what's his name, Vanette. You got what's the brother name, the turn wide receiver, he's in there. But like I said, it's a lot of flux there, and I'm not really big on Vanette. I thought Vanette would help out. Maybe he improves this year. We couldn't really count on him last year. He's 6'6", but don't use it to help out. But yes, a Weidermeyer would definitely be a guy that can help out as well. So I like this call right here. And as you see, the mold is to keep going offensive because we need a lot of help offensively. All right, anyway, and then of course we move on to the next one here. And I'm not going to even try to pronounce this brother name, but we're just going to call him EU. All right, so I think I heard him say Wazariki. I hope I'm saying that right. Probably not. 6'6", 320. Now, what I like about him is you put the tape on right here, listed as a defensive tackle, but the film on it, they played him and moved him all around the damn line. I mean, he was moved all the way around. I even seen packages where you seen this brother as an edge rusher. He has athleticism to be as big as he is, 6'6", 320. He was moved all the way around and made some things happen. So I like his tape. If you put his tape on and go and watch him, he's a guy that can help the Saints out. Now, I did get him another interior defensive alignment because, like I said, we got a lot of guys on one-year deals, and hopefully he can come in and make some happen. All right, and of course, the final pick is a wide receiver. That's right, I got me another wide receiver, 5'11". Some have him listed as 6 feet tall, Josh Johnson out of the University of Tulsa by way of Little Rock, Arkansas. Now, this brother here, 5'11", some have him listed as 6 feet tall, 180, and some he has good speed. They don't have his 40 time here, but has good speed, can catch the ball. At 9, again, deals with concentration issues and needs to work on his route running. But it's a lot of potential in this brother. He is also really good on the special teams. So he can kick return, punt return on special teams, help out there as well. So this is guys that, like I said, fam, we can bring some of these people in and kind of help out. So I got the wide receiver on the front and on the back end of the draft because we definitely could use some talent there. So to recap, Mach 7, Jahan Dotson. A lot of people say, Q, I like Christian Watson a little bit better. That's high to take Watson at the 16th pick, but I think Jahan Dotson, who some people say is a draft pick between the 16 and 19 range, but we'll see, man. Somebody gonna pick this kid up. Y'all just remember what I've been telling. I told y'all last about Hurts. I told you about a few other players. I'm putting Jahan Dotson on your minds right now. All right, and then we talked about Bernhard Raymond, who's another guy that should help out on the offensive line. So we got wide receiver and they help out with Mike that can stretch the field, take the top off the defense. We got a mean-ass, athletic, good, mean streak Bernhard Raymond from Central Michigan. Some say like third or fourth. You put the tape on of him. Very powerful guy right there. High IQ too. We got a developmental quarterback in Carson Strong, who can sit for a couple years, has a strong arm that you're looking for, short, intermediate passer. Does have a little bit of the gunslinger mentality. Hell, he ran the air raid offense. Super productive over there. Super productive. What was some of his statistics? I was looking at some of his stats here. And Strong is trying to become the 5th Mountain West quarterback to be drafted in the 1st or 2nd round since Colin Kaepernick, Derek Carr, Josh Allen, Jordan Love. The Big Ten only has 3 such QBs in the time frame. He was the Mountain West Offensive Player of the Year in a 2020 ranking second in the FBS in completions per game. With almost 28, the guy had 28 completions per contest. He was 249 of 355. That's just a 70%, 9 starts. Averaged 317.6 passing yards per game. Once again, he had ninth with 27 pass touchdowns against 4 interceptions, 27 TDs against 4 interceptions. Strong was all conference top offensive player in 21 as well, ranking 8th in the FBS with over 4,000 passing yards, tied for 7 with a school record 36 passing touchdowns, which is in with 36 passing touchdowns and 6 with 70% completion percentage and 12 starts. Multiple procedures on his right knee, and that's the thing that kind of dropped him a bit with the knee surgery that happened. But he could, you don't have to play him right away. But he's talented. He's very talented. But anyway, Carson Strong has some positives and negatives, but more positive than negative to take that pick there at the second round. Dameon Pierce, power running back. Alvin Kamara dealing with some Las Vegas stuff. He might be out for several games. Pierce could be the kind of power back that Dennis Allen said he wants. We got the tight end and Whittemire, who can come in, catch passes for you, can be developed into a nice tight end underneath all the stuff that's going on with the uncertainty of the Saints tight end room. What happens with Adam Troutman. Taysom Hill is there. I'm not really confident in Vanette. And Whittemire could come in as a potential prospect to help out. All right, and of course, we know EU is another guy that's really good at what he does. I think he had like 9 sacks last year coming out. But look how this is the pronunciation, pronounced E-O-Ma or Iwaza Riki. Okay, whatever. Played in 13 games as a reserve in 2017, and they bring it up to the current. I remember I was watching his statistics, and he had 12-game starter, 27 tackles, 8 for loss, 3 sacks, and 21 league coaches voted him the first team after outstanding playing 13 games with 10 starts, 42 tackles, 12 for a loss. Lives back there. He had 9 sacks. 9 sacks as a defensive tackle. 9 sacks. And I got this guy in the 5th round? This guy is a defensive tackle. He had 9 sacks this past year. So there you go. Now you understand. And of course, we talked about Johnson, who has good speed, can catch, is a special teams guy and can develop and bring more speed and skill to the wide receiver room. So this is my mock 7 here as well. So, this is some of them I think. Y'all let me know what y'all think in this piece. All right, fam. Much love to the fam. Appreciate y'all chiming in. About to get ready to bounce, baby, as the Pelicans got to handle the Biz against the San Antonio Spurs. Give them that work tonight in this playing, man. Much love. It's really amped right now in the city. The region feeling really good. Of course, the Pelicans got some postseason, regular season basketball to attend to. We got the upcoming stuff that's going to be going on with the New Orleans Breakers. That's going to be breaking out real soon. So we feeling pretty good. The draft happening late April. We're going to be all right. You heard me? We're going to be all right. All right. T. Scott said, what field goal kicker you with, Q? I'm thinking Gabe Burkick, but I wouldn't be mad with Yark. I think I'm not looking at a kicker, to be honest with you, brother Scott. I think Will Lutz is fine, man. But you never can tell. I mean, he had that core surgery. He looks like he's well. So we'll see moving that thing ahead, All right. So appreciate the fam. All right, Brother Wallace said we need an offensive tackle and a wide receiver and a running back and a safety, tight end, and defensive tackle. All right. What's up, Brother Ramsey? Who that tell you? All right. Tyrone, what's up, man? Appreciate you, Brother Tyrone, and the rest of the fam. Clint said I'd rather Burks in the first round than Dotson. A lot of people like Burks. That's what DC kept saying. I want Burks. I said Burks is not, how does he fit next to Mike Thomas? I mean, you usually want a guy you got a possession guy, and you usually want a speed guy that take the top off. You want a guy that's the catch guy, and then of course Dotson could be moved either inside out. He could play the slot as well. Very tough guy. So it depends on who you like. We'll see who the Saints go with as well. All right, what's up, Colorado? Who that to you, Brother Jerome? Much love, fam. All right, what's up, Purple Marcus? Good to see you, young brother. Much love to you. All right, so with that being said, fam, I'm going to check out on that. Much love to the fam. Please hit the like button if you hadn't hit the like button. please subscribe if you had not subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. And I appreciate each one of you guys for chiming in on today's show. We'll be back Thursday. We'll talk some more Saints content as well. Pelican post-game report for my Pale people will be going down tonight after the game. So you guys be looking out for that as well. So with that being said, I'm going to holler at y'all later. Much love to the fam. Who dat? And I'm out.
Yeah. Well, all right. Like you always say, welcome, welcome, welcome. Number one sports talking D. We ain't like the Falcons, we won't blow the lead. Look, all we talk is who that, who got cut and who back. Rookies and the vets, players you should look at. It's the sports coma, you don't wanna miss it. Got the pre-game, party, post-game statistics. Get a visit from Sway, maybe DC or 5. It's the hottest thing smoking, Big Q and the guys. Go to YouTube Live, make sure you subscribe. Interviews inside the Saints locker room high. Talk to Drew, Jordan, Zach, Peyton, New Orleans, who that nation. Best believe when I say we bleed gold and black. Ain't a miracle or rivalry could ever hold us back. No, Beastquake, Bounty Gate, let the truth be told. It's the sports coma, all we know is say Super Bowl. Yeah.
You're listening to the Sports Coma with Big Q and the guys on the PRO Media Network.
Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints? Who that? Who that? Who that say they gon' beat them Saints?
Daily.com. That's right, the WhoThatDaily.com. Your one-stop shop for everything New Orleans Saints, New Orleans Pelican, LSU Tigers, and even the top flight boxing news. So if you're a Who That and you're looking for a place to stay up on your team, the WhoThatDaily.com is your site. The WhoThatDaily.com for the sport Who That in all of us. Check out the Pro Shop. That's right, the Pro Shop is the platform stores where you can go and buy all the latest merch to support the platform. Available at the Pro Shops, we have dozens of hundreds of products available for you and your family. Unisex tees for men and women, hoodies and sweatshirts, tank tops, kids and baby items, long sleeve tees, mugs, pillows, wall art, bath bedding, face masks, phone cases, stickers, bags, fanny packs, socks, hats, and many other items. Please feel free to check out the Pro Shops. The link is in the description section below. And remember, it helps the platform